Hello students, this video is based on lecture 9 and 10 together. Well, we have A is an associative algebra over a field F. X and A are two elements of the algebra A. We denote by X naught the element X. So X naught is X, and then inductively we have Xk. Xk is add A of Xk minus 1. So that means add a of xk minus 2. So add a square of xk minus 2 and so on. So this will be add a of x naught, which is x, for all k equal to 1, 2, 3. So basically what is x1? x1 is add a of x naught. x2 is add a of x1. So that becomes add a square of x naught and so on. So xk is add a of xk minus 1, that is xk minus 1 comma a. So xk minus 1 a minus a xk minus 1. So from this equation 1 we get that xk minus 1 a is a xk minus 1 plus xk for all k equal to 1, 2, 3 and so on. So let's look at this now. So what is xa? Xa is x naught a. So this is a x naught plus x1. Now xa square will be xa into a. So that is a x naught into a plus x1a. And now for x naught a and x1a we will make use of this equation. So this becomes a into a x naught plus x1 plus a x1 plus x2. So this is a square x naught, and we combine this term and this term. So this is 2 times ax1, which is 2c1 ax1 plus x2. Now by induction we have this induction hypothesis that x ak minus 1 is ak minus 1 x naught plus k minus 1 c1, ak minus 2 x1 plus k minus 1 c2, k minus 3 x2 plus so on, k minus 1 ck minus 2 axk minus 2 plus xk minus 1. So we find out now what is xak. Xak is xa k minus 1 into a. So this is a minus 1, and for x naught a we substitute from this equation. Then we have k minus 1 c1 ak minus 2, and for x1a we again make use of this. x1a is ax1 plus x2. Then k minus 1 c2 ak minus 3 and x2a. So x2a we substitute again from here and we have this, and so on. This is k minus 1 ck minus 2a and xk minus 2a. So we make use of this. Then xk minus 1a we have this. Now we combine the terms. This is ak x naught. This term is combined with this. So this becomes kc1 ak minus 1 x1. This term is combined with this multiplied with this. So kc2 ak minus 2 x2. Then this term is combined with this kck minus 1 axk minus 1 plus xk. Here we are making use of the formula that k minus 1 ci plus k minus 1 ci plus 1 is kci plus 1. So basically by induction method we have proved that xak is ak x naught plus kc1 ak minus 1 x1 plus kc2 ak minus 2 x2 up to this xk. So this is our equation 2. Now we use another formula. This is for axk minus 1. So from equation 1 we have that axk minus 1 is xk minus 1a minus xk. You can see it here. Axk minus 1 is xk minus 1a minus xk. So this is true for all k equal to 1, 2, 3. Now again we will make use of induction method. See, this is ax is ax naught. So this is x naught a minus x1. A square x is a square into x naught. So we multiply this by a, and for a x naught we make use of this. Ax naught is x naught a minus x1a, and Ax1, we will write Ax1 from this equation. This is x1a minus Ax2, and then we combine the terms. This is x naught a square. This and this makes it 2c1 x1a, and then we have plus x2. So we assume that ak minus 1 x is x naught ak minus 1 minus k minus 1 c1 x1 ak minus 2 plus k minus 1 c2 x2 ak minus 3 plus so on. Now let us see what is akx. So akx, this is a into akx will be a into ak minus 1x. So we will substitute this value. So this becomes x naught a minus x1 into ak minus 1 minus k minus 1 c1 x1a minus x2 into ak minus 2, and so on. We go on substituting, and then we combine the terms. This is x naught ak, this term is combined with this one, this term is combined with this one. So last term of the previous bracket is combined with the first term of the next bracket, and then we also make use of this formula. So we get that akx is x naught ak minus kc1 x1 ak minus 1 plus kc2 x2 ak minus 2, so on up to minus 1 raised to the power k xk. This is our equation 3, and the formula has been proved with the help of induction. Now lecture 10. We will make use of these two formulas, equation 2 and equation 3, in proving this theorem. Let V be a finite dimensional vector space over a field F if T and U are two linear operators on V such that U, T, T, this leaf product of U and T is n times. This is 0 for some positive integer n, then V0T and V1T. Fittings null component and fittings 1 component are invariant under U. So we take an element V belonging to V0T first. You remember what is V0T? V0T is Wm, Wm plus 1 and so on, and Wk. These were defined in the fittings lemma. V0T is null space of T to the power m. So it is also null space of T to the power m plus 1, T to the power n plus 2 and so on. So here we are taking this k is n plus m minus 1. So this is obviously greater than or equal to m. So V belongs to null space of T to the power m. So T to the power m into V is 0. Now see, we are having we are making use of this notation here because LV is associative algebra. So we take U naught is U. U1 is add T of U naught. So this is U comma T. U2 is add T square of U naught. So that will be U comma T. And U to the power n will be add T n of U, and that is 0 by the given condition. So now see what is Tk of UV. Tk of UV is UTKV, and for UTK we make use of this equation. X is our U and A is our T. So UTK, and we have this equation. So by 2, UTK is Tk U naught plus Kc1 Tk minus 1 U1 plus Kc2 Tk minus 2 U2 plus so on, and this is the n minus 1th term. Then we have nth term, n plus 1th term, and in the end we have U. This should be UK. UKV. So look at these terms. UN is 0. So UN plus 1 is also 0. un plus 2 is also 0 and uk is also 0. So these terms will give us 0. Now we have only these terms remaining. So this is u of tk operating on v. So u of tkv plus kc1 u1 of tk minus 1 v plus kc2 u2 of tk minus 2 v, and this is kcn minus 1 un minus 1 t k minus n plus 1. Now k minus n plus 1 is m, so this is tmv. And what are we given? We are given that tmv is 0, so tm plus 1, so this is 0. Before this we have tm plus 1, that is also 0. Tm plus 1 v is also 0. And because wm plus 1 wk, they are all equal, so tkv, so all these terms are all 0. So tk of uv is 0, that means uv belongs to wk and wk is wm, which is v0t. So u of v belongs to v0t, that means v0t is invariant under u. Now we look at v1t. We take an element v belonging to v1t. So v1t, the fittings one component. This is the range of some power of t. So suppose v1t is tmv, this is tm plus 1v, they will all be equal. So tn plus m minus 1v, which is tkv, because our k is n plus m minus 1. So v belongs to tkv, that means v will be tk of w for some w in v. So what is u of v? U of v is u of tkw, that means tkuw, and for tku we will make use of the equation number 3. A is t and x is u, so tku, and we make use of equation number 3. So by 3, this will be u naught tk minus kc1 u1 tk minus 1 plus kc2 u2 tk minus 2. We have alternate plus and minus signs here. So plus minus 1 to the power n minus 1 kc n minus 1 uk minus 1 tk minus n plus 1. Then plus minus 1 to the power n kcn un tk minus n, and so on. The last term is minus 1 to the power k uk of w. This is w. Now these terms are 0 because un plus 1, they are all 0. So these terms vanish. Now we have only these terms which are given in the first row. So this is tk of u naught w minus kc1 tk minus 1 of u1 w plus kc2 tk minus 2 of u2 w, and the last term is minus 1 to the power n minus 1 kc n minus 1. This is t of tk minus n plus 1, which is tm, u n minus 1 w. So this is in the range of t to the power m. This is in the range of t to the power k minus 2. So these range spaces are all equal after m. The range spaces are all equal after m. You can see here. v1t is tmv, tm plus 1v up to tkv and so on. So these elements, they all belong to v1t. So v1t is also invariant under u. This completes the proof of the theorem, and hence lecture 10 is finished. And I hope you have understood everything. If there is any difficulty, then please let me know.